Welcome to Talking with Sapna. As you might have guessed, I'm Sapna. It's lovely to have you here with me today. Today, what I want to do is talk to you a little bit about what this channel is, why we're doing it, and who I am. Because let's be honest, we all love listening to different videos and talks, but we want to know who the person is that's actually talking to us. So let me start by telling you a little bit about me and why I'm the one here talking to you about children and parenting. I've spent over the last 12 years as an educator. And when I started this journey in education, I started it because I had a real passion for working with children and I really enjoy my time with them. I feel like you can be a completely different person when you're around children. But what I realized very early on in my career is that, I don't mind teaching academics. I know it has a place. But what really meant something to me was catering to each children's that individual need and understanding them as an individual for their well-being. And so very early on, I studied my master's in well-being and started delving into what well-being means into topics and areas like positive psychology and psychosynthesis and a strengths-based approach. And I started thinking about what this looks like in a classroom. So I was developing programs and activities that looked at how to really implement and embed emotions and what that looks like. And I was lucky enough in the school that I was in to be able to do it as a whole school approach. So what this meant was I was working with the students, but I was also working with parents and educators to bring that circle together, to see how we could impact well-being by working with all three stakeholders involved in a school. And so a lot of my career after that was focused on that. And I was lucky enough as a result of this to be awarded Positive Teacher of the Year, which acknowledged the work I'd done with those three stakeholders and how it led to change within the school environment and how we ended up implementing a positive education approach. We really saw the impact of this in the language that the students used, but also the language of the parents and the teachers. And I think that's really important. We can teach our children all we want, but we also need to think about how our language as the parents and the educators impacts them as well. And then from this, I spent a few years working with the Curriculum Authority in the new Victorian curriculum, understanding what the developmental continuum looks like when we're talking about well-being and personal and social capabilities, and how to really take what can be perceived as quite an abstract concept and make it tangible. Because that's what we want. We want practical strategies. And from that, I realized that my passion really lies in this, in making these abstract concepts of well-being and positive psychology and self-awareness and understanding and making them practical. Strategies that you can take away and try with your families, with your students and go, oh yes, that worked. Or if I refine this a little bit, that might suit my family. And so I'm with you today as someone who's founded Momentum Education Consulting. And I work specifically with parents and educators because that's where my passion is. Because I think as the key role models in a student's life, in a child's life, if we can start to understand these topics for our students, our children, and for ourselves, then actually we put our children in a really good position to learn these skills too. And that's what Talking with Sapna is all about. It's about bringing to you ideas and topics around parenting and teaching that you can really get your teeth into, that are going to help you stop and think about how to work with your children, how to tailor conversations, how to really bring out the best from them and to get them flourishing. Because that's what we all want, isn't it? For our students, for our children to reach their potential, to be their best. And so that's what we're going to do. We're going to deep dive into different topics. We might have conversations with parents. I'd also love to hear from you. If you have questions that you want answers to, then please shoot us an email, comment under this YouTube video, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook, and get writing those questions, and I will make videos to help you answer your questions. But one thing I want to say to you is that as much as I will be covering content around parenting and teaching, I'm also going to be covering wellbeing topics for you around self-care. Because I know we all have these labels that we carry through life. I'm a teacher, I'm a parent, I am an employee, I'm a partner. But more than those labels, you're a person too. And so it's important to fill your bucket and do things that look after you, as well as things that are looking after your children or your students. So what I ask you to do with me is to engage in these topics for your children, but for yourself as well. Take this journey with me. Let's see where we go. I can't wait to share with you more videos around some really cool topics that I think are going to get you really inspired. The first topic we're going to start with is talking connection, a way to deepen that connection with your children or your students. I can't wait for you to see it, and I look forward to hearing what you think.